And as the owner of a business, what do you stand to gain? That's the question mark. Now, anytime you ask yourself a question, all right, the answer will always follow. So it's good to learn by asking questions. When you ask yourself a question, the answers will come, okay, in one way or the other. Sometimes with the help of the not sometimes, always, okay, with the help of the Holy Spirit. If you're a Christian like me, with the help of the Holy Spirit, it's going to drop. The answers will drop. So the question is, what do we stand to gain as members of or as owners of SWIFTtrip? What do we stand to gain? Very good question, right? So now to answer that, we are looking at 8 slots, okay, 8 slots embedded in this business. In essence, you can come in through any of these 8 slots and become a owner of SWIFTtrip. Now, out of these 8, right, the first 7 are being categorized or being put together, and we call this first 7 as the stake slots. All right, and then the last one is also what we call the node slots. Now, all of them are important. All of them actually are important based on your capacity to own them or to grab them as it is. Now, the 7 slots, the basic, the smallest, okay, the least in that category is what we call the basic slot. And the basic slot is going with the ownership of 0.00 into 3 places 5%. All right, and it's going for 2 million naira. So if you have some 2 million naira kept somewhere, our advice that okay, you're going to just grab it and then come over to SWIFTtrip and own a SWIFTtrip. Own SWIFTtrip what's share by doing that. All right, now if you can do higher than that, you can go for the one of 4 million naira, or you go for the one of 8 million, or 16 million, 32 million, 64 million, and of course the highest in that category is going for 128 million naira. And of course you should know that okay, the higher you go, the more benefits you're going to get, right? So when you are grabbing the, if you grab the higher one, that is the deluxe slot, who is the highest, okay, in all of that, in that category, you'll be earning 0.05%, who is actually bigger, all right? So if you cannot afford this, if you cannot if you have too much money, right? Let me use that way. If you have too much money, okay, we all have too much money, but some persons have too much money than others. So if you have too much money somewhere, kept somewhere, please, I advise that, okay, I sincerely advise that, okay, you place your hand on it, grab it and come over to SWIFTtrip and become a owner of SWIFTtrip. Of course, for you becoming a owner of SWIFTtrip, it means that you have access to, or you have the opportunity to become a owner of a company, all right, that deals with 5 services. Okay, 1 company, 5 services, as at now. Okay, as we speak now, right? That's what we have in mind. Okay, obviously, okay, as we move on, some other things are going to be opening on to us. Okay, so we're going to unveil some other things to you. But for now, we're looking at 5 services. After the time I came to Swift, we're looking at 4 services. But recently, our CEO just introduced the 5th one. So what are they? We are looking at, of course, you already Chief has already mentioned them, right? To before, but let me just kind of like, for those who are just coming right now, we are looking at 5 services, okay? And they are the aviation, okay, going to be a owner of an airport, right? And we'll be having airport everywhere, anywhere our presence is found, any country our presence is found, we're going to be having an airport, all right? Our own personal airport. Even though we're not going to start with that, right? We're going to be having our own airport. Every country will find ourselves, or every nation will find ourselves. So we're going to be having aviation. We're dealing with aviation rather, and then e-taxi. Of course, that is common, right? E-taxi, and then we're going to be having e-commerce, that buying and selling taking place, and we'll be having logistics. Okay, so but when you buy an item, you don't need to think about who to deliver the stuff for you, right? At your doorpost. So we're going to be dealing with logistics. And then finally, hospitality. As of now, hospitality. All right. So yeah, let's assume you're traveling to somewhere in UK, right? And then what you need to do is by the time you land the UK, you don't need to disturb yourself looking for somewhere else, right? You are there using your app, okay, booking the flight, okay? You can just scroll down to the section of the hospitality and then book for your room. Book for your room. So as you land over right there in UK, you just take a taxi. Who starts taking you there? SWIFTtrip taxi will be taking you to your hotel room. You see how everything is connected? Wonderful, brilliant idea. All right, so that's why I keep on saying, okay, this can only be God. This can only be God. We're planned out. Everything we're planned out. All right, so that is it. So you are becoming a owner of 5 companies or 5 businesses in one. All right, 5 businesses in one business as it is, right? That would be enjoying. Now let's talk about the last of the slot in that category. Okay, in the last in that order, right? The last in that order for slot is what we refer to as the node slot, or what we call the node the node share as it is, right? Okay, very good. Now, of course, the word node means the smallest. The smallest. So if you can't afford any of the stake slot, I'm telling you, you should be able to afford the stake at the node slots. The node slots is meant for any man who can see anywhere on the streets. Any man. In fact, a day-old child can go for it. Okay, a day-old baby can go for it for the node slot because it's as small as what? The pin, the eye of the pin, right? It's as small as that. So what is this small thing going for? This small one, okay, which I call small, of course, that can actually going to make a trillionaire. I'm going to talk about that, right? Even though it's as small as that of the eye of a pin, right? It can make you to become a trillionaire in dollars. Don't joke with this. Don't play with this, all right? Don't play with this. Okay, so what is it going for? The price for that is simply 100,000 naira. It's going for 100,000 naira, right? Now, because of it's because a divine project. And as God has laid in the heart of our CEO, he decided to slow it down. So right now we are running a promo right now for those who are coming for the node slots. For the stake slot, no promo. They are fixed. They are fixed, okay? But for the node slot, there's a promo for you. So as we speak tonight, it's going for 67,500 naira. If you're in Nigeria, if you're outside the country, of course, you can grab that using what your USDT, using your USDT wallet address, right? And then you can grab that with 67 USDT. Okay, 67.5, right? USDT. Okay, if you're outside the country. So that's what is happening now. Tonight, by 12 a.m. tonight, that price that I just mentioned, okay, we're going to move from what? 67,500 naira towards 68,000 naira by 12 a.m. tonight. So if you have the opportunity to grab it right now, why don't you grab it? You don't need to wait to cross over tonight. Cross over to 12 a.m. tonight before going for it. Of course, that 500 is still something, right? You can use to grab maybe a bottle of Coke. Okay, don't you think so? So if you're not going to grab it tomorrow, why don't you grab it now? Okay, opportunity for you, right? You're going to save at least 500 naira from that. Okay, so that is for the node slot. So the node slot is going for 7,500 tonight. Now, what the question is this? Okay, now the idea is that we are even in as much as the upper slot or the higher slots, they are important to us. But much more than that, okay, the node slot is very important to us. And the truth is, okay, until we get 2.4 million node holders, we are not launching this business. So this business is going to go live by the time we hit 2.4 million node holders. When we grab 2.1, when we get 2.4 million node holders, then we are good to go to launch this the business. We are going to be going live, and then business will start. Okay, and by that business starts, you start earning, right, on daily basis, per second, right? You'll be earning. So because it's so important to us, I want us to quickly share the screen and then maybe do some calculation so that you can understand what we are talking about, right? So let me share my screen with you. I'm going to grab my calculator. Give me a few seconds, right? Let me see if I can grab my calculator. Okay, I just grabbed my calculator. Now, for the node slot, like I said, it's going for 67,500, right? But the ownership volume attached to that is 0.00 into 5 places, 125%. That's what is attached to it. All right. So if you are going to be grabbing this, right? Well, let's take a look at some transactions taking place. Now, let's go for the e-tags, right? As a case study tonight. Let's say a driver has been called, okay, has been called by a passenger, and the passenger here in Nigeria decided to spend 5,000 naira, all right, for the trip. Considering the distance, okay, you're going to be spending 5,000 naira for the trip. So if he does that, okay, this is what you're going to get. You as a node holder will be getting this value of the money spent. Okay, are you following me? You're going to get this amount to yourself for spending 5,000 naira. Is that not too small? That is very small because it's not up to 1 naira. It's not up to 1 naira. But the truth is, okay, if you have understanding about how a system work, how a system work, right? You won't be scared about this value right now. All right, you won't feel disappointed by seeing this. So let's relax and then follow me close and let's see what could happen, right? Now, if that is the case, let's say this driver going to run 5 times, okay, of the day, 5 times, just 5 times, 5 trips. Let's call it 5 trips, and let's put it in mind that okay, for every trip that that the driver is going through, the passengers are spending 5,000, which is not possible anyway, right? But just for a case study, just to give an idea of what we can make out of this trip, right? So let's assume that they all be spending 5,000 for each passenger has been spending 5,000 naira, and we're going for 5 trips. You're going to be getting this amount of money in naira. Of course, it's not still up to what? A kobo. So let's start adding some zeros to it. Okay, let's keep on adding some zeros to it. All right, so you can see what is happening. As we add zeros to the value, you can see that, obviously you can see that, okay, the amount you are earning is increasing in naira. Obviously, I've gotten what 312 naira 0.5 kobo, and that is 5 million what trips. So let's add more. 50 million trips is going to give you this. You see the power of system, right? Okay, we'll do that again. 31,250. All right, we'll do this. Going to give us 312 million 1,500 naira. Okay, it's going to 3 million automatically. You can see what is happening. This is awesome, right? As we are adding zeros, okay, this is happening. 31,250,000. Okay, let's see that. 312,500,000. Wow, this is 3,125,000,000. How many trips is this? Okay, this is going for like 50 trillion trips. 50 trillion trips. See the power of a system. 50 trillion trips, and obviously, of course, it's not possible that, okay, everybody, all the partners are going to be spending 5,000 naira, right? But just peg it on 5,000 naira, and you see this, the power of our system taking place right now before your eyes. You just made what 3,125,000,000 naira. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is wonderful, isn't it? All right, this is what you go to stand to me. Now, the question I have for you is this: how many years do you think SWIFTtrip is going to take to make this amount of money for you? Okay, being a node holder, how many years do you think SWIFTtrip are going to take to make this money for you as a node holder? I know you have an answer in your mind, right? I know you're going to be saying like 10 years, okay, 20 years. Somebody will say like 100 years, right? Any answer you give to me, you are correct, because you are entitled opinion. The way you allow your brain to work, okay, is good and fine. If you allow your brain to tell you 50 years, good and fine. If you allow your brain to tell you 1 year, good and fine. But for me, as my household, okay, you know what my brain is telling me? My brain and my mind, everything is telling me that, okay, in a matter of what, 1 year, we can get this done. Yes, in a matter of 1 year, we can get 50 trillion trips taking place in SWIFTtrip. And so for you as a node holder, I'm telling you, in a matter of 1 year, 2 years, you can make this amount of money. You're going to be swimming in billions. Hence, we can boldly say that, okay, SWIFTtrip will make you a trillionaire in dollars. So we're not just saying it. Okay, we are saying it because we have done some calculations. And we're not scared of figures. You know why we're not scared of figures? Because in SWIFTtrip, everybody get paid. Everybody get paid. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Look at it. For this number of trips, okay, let me remove this value and let me go back to the passenger. For the passenger, okay, this is what you're going to make, okay? You're going to make 5.E15. Meaning, okay, you're going to like make like five digits, okay? Sorry, 5 as a digit, and then 15 zeros will be added to that, okay? And that will be like how many? That's big. It's going to be like, that'll be like a trillion. After trillion is what? Quartillion, right? I think quartillion. We have a quintillion and whatever, right? Let me not scare you. But of course, obviously, you can see that this person is going to be what? Streaming the money. The person, the passenger, that is actually terrible. For the passenger, that's actually going to be wrong. Let me quickly do something. Hold on. Let me do something. Okay, let me remove the trips, okay, that are there. And let's go back to the passenger. The passenger spent 5,000 naira. Okay, we're going to get 100 naira. Are you following me? The passenger spent 5,000 naira for that tax. For that trip, going to get what? 100 naira. So in SWIFTtrip, we're not going to be telling you thank you, which is awesome, which is wonderful. But for us to tell you thank you, add to that is what? Cash. You're going to be cashing out. All right. So let's assume this was 50,000 naira. You're going to get 1,000 naira. Let's assume it was 500,000 naira spent. You're going to get what? 10,000 naira. So the higher the amount you spent, the more money you're getting back in return, back to your wallet. You see what is happening? Somebody spent 5 million naira and he got what? 100,000 naira back. Do you think that guy will be angry? Don't you think that guy will go to go and tell someone about this business? You see what I'm talking about, right? Now, if this again increase, you're going to get 1 million naira. If you spend 50 million naira, it goes to 1 million naira back to your pocket as a customer, And then for the person who referred this customer spending this money, you're going to get 1% of that. And he got 500,000 naira. Do you see what I'm talking about? Everybody's getting paid. Now, look at it. If a business is going to be paying a customer, and they're paying the person who referred the customer, and when the customer signed up, okay, download the app and use the app, okay, automatically going to get his own referral link as well. And then automatically also become a referral, so you're going to be referring some other persons too. So what do you think is going to be happening? Do you think such a business is going to be lacking customers? I'm telling you, there are going to be a lot of free adverts everywhere for SWIFTtrip. Anybody that step into SWIFTtrip want to be going for what? Advert. Oh, because they want to make money. Do you know what it takes for you to make 1% of no something? Remember, we are dealing with Naira right now. Okay, but remember, it's a global business. And because it's a global business, you can be having people under you, or let me say, prospects under you from other countries. Like an India, you can get an Indian man, right? You can get someone from the US, you can get someone from Canada, right? Or California as it is. You can get someone from different places, South Africa, anywhere. And of course, currency differs, right? And the value of currency differs too. So imagine you got someone who spent millions in dollars. Millions in dollars. You have got what? 500 US dollars. Convert that to Naira. Your head going to be blasting, right? Your head going to be pumping, pum, right? Like that. So what am I saying? There'll be free adverts everywhere, and for that reason, we're not going to be lacking customers. Therefore, I am not scared of us making what? Or eating 50 trillion trips in a matter of 1 year and 2 years. We're going to get it done. I'm telling you. We're going to get it done. Very, very possible. Okay? Go and ask God is Good Motors how many trips they have made so far. Right from the beginning they created or they started the business. Go and find out. I'm telling you, if they're actually keeping record, it will blast your mind. It's going to blow your mind. They made a lot of trips, a lot of trips, a lot of transactions have taken place in those businesses we are seeing right there. So for SWIFTtrip, in a matter of 1 year, 2 years, we can actually record of 50 trillion trips. That's for the e-tax alone, please, ladies and gentlemen. That's for the e-tax alone. I'm not considering right now the logistics, the aviation, the e-commerce, and the hospitality. I'm only focusing on one side of the business. So imagine if I decide to include every other part of it, all right, into this calculation right now, you're not going to be talking about just 3 billion naira. We'll be looking at about 12 to 15 billion naira in a matter of 2 years, 3 years. Do you understand what I'm talking about, right? So imagine you seeing this right now, hearing this right now. What do you think going to make you not to step into SWIFTtrip? Okay? You are becoming a trillionaire in dollars by spending only 67,500 tonight. And if you cross over 12 a.m. tonight, okay, you're going to be spending 68,000 naira, which is still too small. Very, very small, minute stuff, right? Very small, so small that you can't think about, oh, are you sure? No, of course, the only thing I'm going to be disturbing your mind right now is, are you sure they're not going to run away with my money? That's the only thing I'm not going to be standing as a barrier between you and your divine wealth or your divine financial freedom that is coming your way right now through SWIFTtrip. Again, I want to say to you that, okay, SWIFTtrip is a divine project. This can only be God, because you know what the Bible says in John 3:16? For God so loved the world that he gave. What did he give? He gave his only begotten son. So obviously, if you observe, if you actually study SWIFTtrip very well, you're going to bear with me that, okay, this is actually a divine process, because Honorable Richard Inadi is actually working according to the mind of God, according to the heart of God. When God loves, he gives. When he loves, he gives. So you're going to be giving to a customer. We're not only focusing on KYC or knowing your customer, right? But we're giving back to our customer, which is pay your customer. And we're not only paying the customer, we're paying the customer, paying those who are also joining us to be doing the business by advertising for us, because they will be getting something. So no free advert in SWIFTtrip. Everybody's getting paid. We give because we love. Remember, you can only have one account in this business. So that's another thing again, right? You can only have one slot. You can't have more than one. You can have only one, because we are dealing with humans. We are dealing with individuals. We are here to empower individuals. The average man on the street, right? We want to turn him around to become what? A wealthy man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity for you to escape what is called poverty. This is an escape route for you permanently, for time and for all eternity. All right? You're going to forget about anything called poverty. You will never in your life go to smell poverty by stepping into SWIFTtrip. Hello? I hope I'm not here to convince you, because I'm not trying to convince you. Okay? Don't think I'm trying to convince you, because I'm not a public speaker. If you hear me talk, I'm not a public speaker, right? What I do is what I give information. That is all, nothing more than that. So if this done with you, if this actually settled in your mind and your heart, if I were you, you're going to take that bold step right now, step in. They're going to be saying, okay, if you have no doubt and you're sure that this is going to happen the way I'm saying it, then the next thing that's going to be coming to your mind is, oh, what about if I don't have enough money, I don't have all the money, what do I do? I have an idea for you. You can become a professional beggar, and there's nothing wrong about begging. Yes, you can become a professional beggar. How do you become a professional beggar? Because I do that when I was in a business. That was a business I found myself in. We have to move from Ibadan to Lagos without paying 1 naira to our drivers. to the drivers, okay, all the drivers that, okay, we have to go through, okay, and the managers of the business, the so-called managers are waiting for us to go and deliver the money after like 1 week, 2 weeks. We're going to go for like 2 weeks journey, right? From Ibadan to Lagos, and from Lagos we'll be entering other places like that, right? The guest has to go to sleep in, right? We're not going to pay ₦1 because we have what to tell them. Our student ID cards are with us. We're going to tell them something. Some of you have come across them. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to mention the name of the company, right? But you know what I'm talking about. If you have encountered them, you know what I'm talking about. For the food that we're going to eat, we'll call it SWOT. We have to SWOT it. SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Okay, so we have to SWOT for food, SWOT for clothing, SWOT for slippers, SWOT for shoe, SWOT for money, SWOT for where to sleep and all the right, in the night. Sometimes even some barracks, we have to go and SWOT soldier men, and they're going to give us place to sleep. I'm telling you, awesome, right? I traveled from Osogbo to Bayelsa without paying ₦1. I think it's my first time of saying this in this meeting. Okay, because we're working and looking for money. And what does that mean? It means that, okay, without we getting money, right, we cannot progress in the business, in that company. So you have to get some money. They call it use other people's money. That is what they call it. We have to use other people's money to step up. To step up, the position we're going to be going from manager to assistant manager, right? Something like that. They're going to become a director, and they'll promise you're going to be traveling with us. At the end of the year, this and that. We have to work out. You work with all the energy you have within you. So by the time you go through those 2 weeks trip, you come back, deliver the money to the people, and then the guy will just disappear with the money. They just give us one small bucket and a cup of they call it some of these what they call it, supplements. They'll give you one cup and then give you like 1,000, 2,000 for you to take care of yourself and all of that. That's the end of it. Until you progress to become a guy, so you keep on working for them. Anyway, so what am I saying directly? I'm saying that you can become a professional beggar, but that was actually with lies anyway. We have to have some small lies, white lies as they call it. They say you're not lying, you are trying to not be real. They'll blow your mind to tell you they are not lying. Okay, so I'm not actually advising to go and lie anyway, but this is my own professional begging definition, right? Don't lie. Say the truth. Meet someone on the road and say, dress well, make sure you dress well and look good. Tell the person, say, oh bro, I am in need of something. Please, can you help me? For what for? Please. Okay, that's when they ask you for what for. Hey, tell them what you need it for. Oh, you may not understand, sir. Please, but can you please help me? Don't lie. Just say the truth. The Holy Spirit is going to help you. Say the truth, and the person can know you. See, you got to be seeing the person dip hand into the pocket and give you like 500 naira, 1,000 naira before they come back to your house. Okay, you must have made was 7,800 or 500 as it is, or 8,000 naira by tomorrow. All right. And if I'm to go by the formula of Honorable Jerry Odu, right? You can call for a family meeting. Tell them I need your help, my people. Or you call around your church members to come around. Okay, they should help you. Why are we together? Why are we going to church? Church is not a family. It's supposed to be a family, right? So they're supposed to assist you. Okay, or go to your club meeting, whatever. Anyhow, just make you raise the money. If you cannot raise the money in that form again, the next formula is sell something from your house. Sell something that worth that money, right? Or equal to that particular money you're looking for, right? Just sell it. And I'm telling you, in a matter of 1 week, you're going to get the money back and pay back. Get the item back. Something much more better than even the one you sell. I'm telling you the truth. All right. So that is very possible in SWIFTtrip. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Okay. So having heard that, okay, the next thing that's going to be coming to mind is, all right, do I have to stay till we're going to launch the business? Because I said earlier on that, okay, we're not going to launch this business until we hit what? 2.4 million node holders, as I call them, node holders, not necessarily stakeholders, okay, but node holder. Oh, lest I forget, please, the node slot is gradually going towards what? 100,000 naira, right? By the time we get to 80,000 naira, all right, we're going to jump from 80,000 naira to what? To 100,000 naira. Please take note of that. And when we get to 100,000 naira, right, the stake slot will be wiped out from the system. All right, you may have money to afford or to get to them, right, but they will not be available for you anymore. The stake slot, end of the stake slot, right? From 2 million to 120 million, you won't have access to them. So if you have money to grab them right now, this is the best time to do so, because you will not have the opportunity again. Is that clear? So now, okay, and after that, we're going to be focusing on what? The no slot. All through, we'll be focused on the no slot. All right. So anybody that come here only have access to buy the no slot. And again, may I remind you again, according to the words of our CEO, Richard Inadi, by the time we launch this business, okay, we're going to move from this 100,000 you're talking about, right? You are playing with 100,000 stuff, right? we'll be selling the no slot minimum. We're going to be selling this slot, right? 200 million naira minimum with a beg, with a beg. Because I'm telling you, by then, people started seeing what is happening in the system already. They're going to be start seeing what is happening in the system. So the rich guys who are keeping their money, they can come around, then they will be selling for them. Minimum 200 million. Can sell 500 million and the rest, but minimum 200 million naira. So this is the best time for you to grab this opportunity right now, okay? Now that it's cheap and available, please grab it, okay? Thank you.